Headphones on, the whispers begin.
Have you ever noticed how easy it is to disappear in a place designed to help you? I noticed it the night the hallway lights went out on the 4th floor. I was awake because the building never really slept. The air vents sighed and clicked, carts rattled in distant corridors, and somewhere a monitor beeped with a rhythm that wormed into my skull. I had been admitted for exhaustion and dehydration after collapsing at work. That's what the chart said. I remembered the ambulance ride, the paramedic's calm voice, the smell of antiseptic. Everything after that felt thin, like a memory copied too many times. At 2:17 a.m., the lights flickered once and died. At first, I told myself it was nothing, an outage, a blown fuse. Hospitals have generators. They always do, but the darkness didn't feel temporary. It felt intentional, heavy, the kind that presses against your eyes, even when they're open. "Hello?" I called, my voice swallowed immediately. No answer, no footsteps, no beeping monitors. I slid out of bed, my IV stand clattering too loudly in the silence. The door to my room was ajar. I hadn't left it that way. I was sure of it. In the hallway, the emergency lights glowed, dim red, just enough to stretch shadows into long, warped shapes along the walls. That's when I noticed the doors. Every patient room door on the 4th floor was open. Every one except mine. A shiver crept up my spine. I stepped forward, peering into the nearest room. The bed was neatly made, sheets tucked with military precision. No patient, no personal items, just an empty room that looked like it had never been used. I checked another and another, all empty. My heart began to pound. I tried to rationalize it. Maybe I'd been moved to a closed wing, maybe renovations, but the smell was wrong, too clean, like bleach layered over something older. At the nurse's station, the desk was clear. No computers, no charts, no coffee cups, just a single clipboard lying in the center as if placed there for me. My name was written at the top. Below it was a checklist, boxes neatly ticked off. Arrival, confirmed. Isolation, maintained. Compliance, observed. The last line was unchecked, awareness. I heard footsteps behind me. I spun around. A man stood at the far end of the hallway, partially obscured by shadow. He wore scrubs, but they were too clean, too crisp like a costume. He didn't move toward me. He just watched. "Where is everyone?" I asked. He smiled, slow and careful. "That depends," he said, "on how much you remember." I backed away, my heel catching on the IV stand. "Remember what?" He took a step closer, then another. His footsteps were soft, practiced. "You asked for this," he said gently. "You signed the forms. You wanted to know how it felt." My mouth went dry. "I never—" "You did," he interrupted. "You said fear was the only honest emotion left, that if you could still feel it, you'd know you were real." I ran. The hallway seemed longer than before, stretching impossibly as I sprinted past open doors and red-lit walls. The man didn't chase me. I could hear him walking, unhurried, always behind me. I burst into the stairwell and slammed the door shut, locking it. The concrete steps spiraled downward into darkness. No emergency lights here. I descended, counting steps to steady myself, until I reached the ground floor. The exit doors were chained. Behind me, the stairwell door opened. "There's no point," the man said softly. "This building isn't for healing. It's for observing." I sank to the floor, shaking. "Why me?" His voice came closer, almost kind. "Because you volunteered. Because you said normal life didn't scare you anymore." I squeezed my eyes shut. Memories crashing in late nights, scrolling through forums, signing up for experimental empathy research, laughing at the disclaimer about psychological stress. When I opened my eyes, I was alone. A loudspeaker crackled overhead. "Awareness achieved. A voice announced, "Subject response recorded." The hallway was suddenly full. Nurses rushing, patients calling out, alarms blaring. A woman knelt beside me, asking if I could hear her. Someone lifted my wrist, checking my pulse. As they wheeled me away, I caught my reflection in a glass panel. I was wearing scrubs. And around my wrist was an ID badge, not a patient's. It had my name on it. Would you like to hear more creepy tales? Subscribe to this channel so you don't miss any stories. Here I leave you a story that will scare you. Listen to it if you dare.